from Boston and beyond. Heat981fm.com and iHeartStation.
Tonight's episode of Conversations with Coach La is brought to you by Virtual Services by Shamina Austin. Do you need to delegate some tasks, or are you looking to declutter a space? Well, assign it to her. Introducing Virtual Services by Shamina Austin. She's currently accepting new clients and offers a variety of back office services depending on your needs. Contact Shamina at 857-273-1528, 857-273-1528, or email shaminaaustin@gmail.com for more information.
Conversations with Coach La.
Coach La, your favorite neighborhood therapist. Having real hard convos, contrasting pessimists. Generational trauma explored, broach delicate. Getting to the root of the pain, healing impediments. Every week signs copay, free lessons. Bet on self, trust the process, no questions. Feel your feels, journey to be healed, no stressing. Conversations with Coach La's now in session.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with La, your favorite around the way therapist. I hope y'all are feeling awesome, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I know, right? It's a Sunday evening. We're getting ready to be at this monumental election, and some of y'all might be in y'all feelings, stressed out, overwhelmed. So tonight, I just want to talk to your spirits, and get you to get your mind right and start to think about, regardless of what happens in this election, what is your vision for your life? What are you going to do with your everyday? Because we all get the same 24 hours in a day. So tonight on the Urban Heat, we have a very special guest, and you know we are radio with a purpose. And you know that I always want to bring individuals that are going to inspire you and going to set your week off in a good way. But more importantly, is to get you to think. So tonight, I have my friend, my stylist, my sister friend, and she's been here. She just reminded me this a year ago that she was here right in the beginning of when I started Conversations with Coach La. So this is all like almost like a little anniversary as well. And she is a Bostonian, similar to myself. I would call her a blessed and highly favored entrepreneur. I've always admired her vision and her drive. And she is the creator and founder of K&K Virgin Extensions. She also does holistic hair care. If you follow her at Hair Queen, you will see that she started to change the game and creating an experience. And she talked about serving and really started to just change the way you came to go get your crown taken care of. And her videos was like, wait a minute, she's using aloe on you and oranges. And I was like, oh, I want some of that. Now, mind you, I knew her already, but she totally revamped herself. I would say revamp. It was a rebrand, and it spoke to my spirit in terms of self-care. I know, and a lot of people know, that our stylists, our beauticians, beauty salons in general have always been a sanctuary, especially for women with black hair. But not everybody has a positive experience. Some people, it was traumatic. So she just took it all and she just made it so therapeutic. If you go in there, she got hot tea brewing, there's nice music playing. It's just such an experience. And she even calls it a hair care experience. So she now is doing an event. This is the second year in a row that she's doing an event. Third year. It's the third year. Oh, that's right. Because the first year I came as a participant. The second year I came as a speaker. And now we're going into the third year. So that is absolutely correct. And it's called Write The Vision. And I think what better way to go into the holidays and into a new year, but with an event that's actually going to sit you down and help you to be still, right? And so without further ado, I want to bring Miss Kueen on to Conversations with Coach La. And how you doing?
I am fabulous and wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really
Great.
well. It's really good to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
And I brought you. I'm bringing you out, and at this time of the night, you know, I know you're an early riser, and I got you coming at 11 o'clock at night. But this conversation, you know, we really want to take a minute and encourage people, because I know a lot of people out here are trying to figure out what's next. I think people use a lot of fear tactics around election year to sort of, you know, get people afraid. But I'm a believer that we are all covered. You know, the children, if you are a blessed, highly favored Christian, you are covered regardless of what's going to happen. We're going to be all right. That's just my belief system.
Right.
I know everybody don't think like that, but I'm praying for everybody that we understand that, you know, it's always going to be things coming at you, things that are not going to go well, things that are going to throw you off, you know, challenges and burdens and different things like that happen regardless of who's president. So we got to remember that and understand that regardless of all that, you can still be blessed, highly favored, and do well no matter what happens. So tell me, who is Kueen?
Who is Kueen? I am a lover of people, right? I love people. I always want to see people do well, do great. And with that, I am a recovered people pleaser.
We share that in common.
Right? And we talked about this a couple of times, but because I have a heart for people, I've learned to grow from, you know, understanding that my wants and needs are just as important as someone else's, right? Mm-hmm. But then knowing that we all can get our needs met. But it's all about setting proper boundaries. And one thing that I learned about boundaries is that with boundaries is not necessary to keep people out, keep people at bay. Mm-hmm. It's to keep those who are in, you know, sacred and close to you so you can be protected. So, you know, that's who I am. I'm a lover of people. I love to serve. I love to serve on a high level. Mm-hmm. And that's what, you know, this event is about. That's coming up this weekend. It's about serving and bringing people together that really are feeling stuck, down and out. And, you know, I like to inspire. I like to inspire folks. Yeah.
You know, you bring up a shout out to all of the recovering people pleasers and those that are still engaging in that. I think it's important to understand that people pleasing comes out of wanting to do well, wanting to serve. It actually makes you feel good too. Yeah. Most people who want to do that don't start off with wanting to be mistreated, taken advantage of. They really have good intentions and they don't want anybody to feel bad or to be the cause of somebody not getting a need met. So that's why they do it. Yeah. So when you understand what's at the core of it, it's not a bad quality. Right. Right. It's when you go too far and you overextend yourself and you're overwhelmed. You get burnt out and you don't get back what you give. Yep. And you start to feel resentful. There you go. That's where it starts to feel not great anymore. And you start to wonder, you know, do people love you? Mm-hmm. Do they care about you? Do they see all that what you're doing? Why is it that no one sees you? Yeah. And that's why it needs to be changed, because often what I found with my family was, I didn't know that you didn't want to do something. I didn't know that I was causing that. I thought you had it. I thought that you could do it. You always tell me yes. You always do it with, you know, with a smile. And then one day you're not so nice anymore. And you're annoyed. You're irritated. And people are like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Like, are you okay? Well, if you didn't want to do it, well, why didn't you just tell me that? Well, and then you're mad because you're like, well, I just told you I had this, I had that, I had this, and you asked me anyway. Yeah. So I figured if you asked me, you must have really needed me to do it. See, only another people pleaser can understand.
Totally understand.
Right. And so then people are looking at you like, well, why don't you just say no? Mm-hmm. And I think that was such a valuable lesson for me, because that was a consistent theme, is why don't you just say no? If you say no, it would be okay. And I'm like, but no. Usually you ask me again. Yeah. Or,
well,
go ahead.
What I've learned about the word no is that no is an answer just like yes.
Yes.
That's for one. And then for two, when you say no, you give the other person the right to figure it out. You know how the statement goes, everything is figure outable, like
Yes.
literally. And sometimes as being a people pleaser, you can enable people. You don't allow them to grow up. You don't allow them to mature. You don't allow them to do or to know how to do something without you leading with your hand. Because sometimes you lead with your hand so much that they don't see your heart in the first place. So once I had these aha moments and these light bulb moments when it came to how much I did for an individual or a person or a group of people, I just had to fall back and take care of me. Yeah. I had to bet on self.
That part. But do you ever wonder how, like, when you think about self-discovery though,
Yeah.
how do you get there? Because I feel like I got there from bumping my head.
Yep.
And making some really I won't say bad choices because they were all part of my
difficult
my growth, my journey.
Yeah.
But I feel like I had some arguments, cut some folks off, maybe got cut off, told about myself, which didn't feel good to get there. What about you? How do you feel like you got to the place of being recovered?
All I can say is same. My kids be like, same. It's been a journey. And even though I feel like I've arrived in that healthy place, it's still, it trickles up a little bit sometimes. And I find myself falling back. I'm like, whoa. Why didn't I just stay firm? So, I mean, I feel like it's a forever process. But once you stand true and stand firm on that thing, it just gets easier. Like I got to a point when I just couldn't wait for someone to ask me something just so I could say no. Like it just tasted good. Like no. No. It was just a thing for me. I wanted to practice
you
no.
Turned into a 2-year-old. Like no.
Yeah, really.
No.
No, really.
I can feel that though. I can feel that though. I think, again, everybody out there that's going through people pleasing behaviors, I want to just send you some love and extend yourself some grace because it's coming from a good place.
It is.
And I think we sometimes will just want to almost do like a whole 180 degree. We just change up everything and then we don't feel like we're being our authentic selves anymore. Or we're not being reciprocated. We're not reciprocating it to people who are reciprocating it to us. But the boundary gets too firm. You know what I mean? Where it's like, nope, I said I'm not loaning out any money to anybody.
Yep.
And it's like, maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you want to have it where somebody who repeatedly asks, you put them on a boundary.
That's correct.
Or if somebody is like stuck somewhere and loses all their credit cards, and they like, hey girl, can you cash out me $100? You're like, nope, I don't loan anybody any money. You know that the person's in a bind,
right?
So like you gotta be mindful of like where's that coming. Yes. And I think that sometimes can be hard for people to figure it out. So, all right, what do you think in terms of balancing everything? Because you are a mom, a wife, a business owner. You have a lot of parts. You're very active in your church too. How do you navigate all those things, and what role does therapy play in your life?
That is such an amazing question. So I've learned how to just, once I put my family first, everything else just falls in line. And even with work, I retired working nights and weekends. I work late on Friday nights, but I don't work nights. When them little boys get off that bus, or my husband and I get them from school, like I'm not going back to the salon. It's family time. And I even just recently went back to, between the hours of 5 and 8, don't touch your phone. Don't return an email. Don't return a text. It's literally family time. And then when it comes to, doing ministry work, that serves its time and its place in my day and in my life. And I just allow my family comes first, and I allow everything else to just fall after that. Everything. So I can't break it down. You know how they say 80% this and 20%. I don't know all that math like that. But I can tell you this: my family, that King household comes first.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, balance is very much subjective, and everybody's balance looks different.
Yes.
I've had, clients come and say, I just want to figure out what my balance is, and I'll ask them, which kind of goes into what we're going to be talking about on the 10th, right? It's like, well, what's your vision for your balance?
Come on.
What do you want it to look like?
That's
because
right.
Asking me to tell you, I can't tell you what that looks like for you, because I know I do a lot, and people have said, you know what, I could never do what you do. You do so much, and I'm not overwhelmed by what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing what I love to do.
Yes.
But someone else will hear my schedule and be like,
yeah.
Right. So that's not your balance. Right. So you have to figure out, what that looks like for you. And what I hear you telling people is you prioritize family.
I do. And it's really, if I must add, is that once you discipline yourself to know what's important. Okay, so I have a statement that I've learned from Stormy Wellington. She always says the vision for your life creates the discipline for your life. Right? Okay. So what you see for yourself, right? You have to have disciplines in your life in order to achieve that. Because say, for instance, I say for myself, I want to be, more fit, more healthy. I don't want to succumb to, heart disease like the average Black woman, right? So I want to have a workout plan. I want to have a certain physical portitude, right? I have to have a certain level of discipline when it comes to my eating, to come to my workout, you understand? So the vision for your life creates a discipline for your life. You cannot achieve certain things without having a certain level of discipline.
All right, now.
Yeah.
You guys are listening to Conversations with Coach Live. We're getting some gems and jewels dropped by Miss Kueen King. Tonight, we're talking about vision. Yes. And we're just talking about direction. I think, and I love this idea of discipline, but that's one of the hardest things for people.
Yes.
And as you were talking, I was thinking, if you don't have vision and you don't know where you're going, then I guess that's why discipline is so hard for people.
Right.
Because they don't really know. Right. Now, do you think that vision is the same thing as purpose?
Vision is the same thing as purpose? No.
Tell me, what do you think?
So my understanding, and it's so funny. I wish I would have reviewed my notes a little bit more before I was asked that question, because Bishop today, he spoke about purpose.
Okay.
Right. And this is actually part 2. So last week it was fire. Today was fire. But the purpose is what you are destined for, what you was created for. That's your purpose. And vision is what you see yourself. So it almost has to align. Okay. With God's will for your life versus what you want.
Yes.
If that's gonna, meet up.
I think you nailing it.
You're nailing it. That's just the surface of it.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Because so many people have come, and I think another thing that drives people to therapy is they don't feel like they have purpose. I like to think that if you wake up in the morning, if you wake up, God puts breath in your lungs.
Yes.
Your purpose is to live.
Yes.
First and foremost, more than anything else, before you add anything else, if you have not been taken yet, if you are still here and God woke you up, your purpose is to live.
Yes.
Your purpose is to get up and to live your life, first and foremost. Now, some people, they're going to be like, oh, wow. Or, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this life. And I think that be kind.
It costs nothing to be kind.
Right. I think starting from a place of kindness, leading with love. I think some of it is more simple than people think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They make it like, oh, I'm supposed to go make all this money, or I'm supposed to have a certain job, or I'm supposed to have a certain mate. And I think the basis of all of it is to live and to be a good person. And I use good loosely.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because I think if you make mistakes, people will think you're a bad person. And I don't think that because you make mistakes, that makes you a bad person.
Right.
Or if you sin, that now you're a bad person and you're going to be I don't So I use
Yeah.
good loosely.
Okay.
Maybe the better word is to be human.
Okay.
And to connect.
Yes.
And to understand as to be human means that we're all going to trip sometimes and
yeah.
fall and stumble. And to give grace for yourself and others to be human.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
So yeah, you definitely have to give yourself grace to be human, right? But and what people need to learn how to do is forgive themselves because you are human. You're not perfect. Like we as Christians, of course, we strive for perfection. You know, because they said, "What would Jesus do?" Well, that's a real question. What would Jesus do?
Yeah,
you understand. So you definitely have to give yourself grace. You have to understand that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be vulnerable, right? But people, even in this space we are in right now, we're about to have this election in a couple of days. It's the end of the year. It seemed like at the end of the year, around the holidays, so much, grief happens, so much death, many people are feeling down and out, discouraged, heavy heart, So around this time of year, that's why I love that you even do a show like this. You're a motivational psychotherapist because people are searching and looking for answers. They want to have some feel good, things that they just hear and see. And it's just, I don't know, we're just in a weird space right now.
Yeah. And we were talking offline earlier that I don't think that we haven't had other years, decades, or spaces or times when things were not well, or people were dealing with trauma and drama and crisis. I don't think that's
just a little different right now.
I don't think that's what we're trying to say. There's a quote, and I can't remember exactly who said it. Things are not where we want them to be, but they're not what they used to be.
Correct.
And understanding that, yes, we got a long way to go, but there has been a lot of progress.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put their lives on the line and did a lot to get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of the things that I think are in our face have always been here, but they've been in the darkness. And I think if anything, what is happening now is that everything that used to go on behind closed doors or be secrets is now just visible.
It's in the forefront. Yeah.
We talked offline that we didn't have cell phones. Yep. We didn't have social media. We didn't have access to entertainers and to just see everything that happens behind the scenes. There was a lot of things that were curated for us only to see what they wanted us to see.
True. It's very true.
And now everything is accessible.
Yes.
You get a chance to hear about things you don't even want to know about. I was on YouTube and I had seen a video between Ray J and Nicki Minaj. There was a time that there would be publicists and people that would make sure that you didn't get a chance to see artists' authentic selves.
Oh.
They curated their image to make sure that they fit in a box and that they sold what they wanted them to sell. Now they just getting online on Instagram, going live and letting you see and hear all of their thoughts and feelings and emotions. Which to a certain extent is good, but then to another extent, there's no gatekeepers for anything anymore to try to save you from yourself.
But when it comes to celebrities, I literally look at them as people who just have more popularity. They just regular old people.
I agree.
They may have more money, but they
agree. But there's a lot of people out there that put them on pedestals and they become icons and they're making them role models. And
not me.
And that's always I never thought like that either, but I know that is the case. So I think it was what is the young lady's name? I hate when my brain does this. She recently was saying she wants to leave her record label. It'll come to me.
Record label.
Oh goodness, she got a little squeaky voice. I can't believe I can't remember her name.
Okay. Summer Walker.
She's in that thing.
SZA,
SZA, Summer Walker. Goodness. She got a song called, is it Brown Sugar? Oh
no.
gosh, I can't think of the girl's name, but she gets online and she does a lot of talking about her mental health and being in a bad place.
Really? Oh man.
And so people were saying she's not emotionally stable.
See?
And I think she's just being
and
human.
See, that's the thing. You leave yourself open to be vulnerable to the whole world. It's like, can you really accept that? Can you take that? Are you strong enough to even endure the criticism or the critique of what you're putting out there? So, you know, the internet ain't not nice.
No, it's undefeated, as they say.
Even with me, I tread careful. There's times I'm on there every day, and then there's months you won't even see me. Like, hey, Queen, where you been? I miss you. Well, some people say that. Some people are like, but you know, I take a break sometime because the internet is, you know, it can be scary.
And I think this goes back to us talking about what is the vision. Because vision goes and kind of extends to everything. What's your vision for your social media? What's your vision for how you want the world to see you? What do you want people to know about you? In my world, we call it self-disclosure, right? What are you disclosing about yourself? And if you disclose that, are you ready for feedback? You know, what's your goal for letting people know certain things? Some folks, this is a trigger statement, but when you post something on social media or on Facebook, I know a lot of people say, I don't care what people think about me.
Yes, you do.
Right? I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care to be liked. I just think that that's not true. When we post stuff on social media, you're not posting it on there because you don't want any engagement and you don't want anybody to like it. You don't want anybody to comment on it. If so, then you're only posting for yourself. So I think that in itself is being authentic.
That's right.
Is what is your goal and what is your purpose for what you're doing? Which takes us back to why we're going to do this event. So I want to talk a little bit about your journey into entrepreneurship and particularly into creating products.
Oh, wonderful.
Holistic products.
Yes.
Talk to us about these products and, you know, what was the vision behind these products?
So earlier you had said I am the founder of K&K Natural Hair Extensions, which is true. However, my brand is Kings and Queens Unisex Hair Salon. We've been that for the past 20 years. I have went through a new rebranding because there's so many facets of who I am and what I do, because I'm now positioning myself not just to be a hairstylist. I'm a community leader. You know, I am a hair doctor, right? I'm not a stylist. I'm a hair doctor. I'm a community leader. I am a wife, a mom, a friend, the president of K&K Family Foundation. You know, there's different things that, you know, I do. So that's why the rebrand is everythingqueen.com. So when it comes to my product line, which is K&K Natural Hair Care, Total Healing Shampoo and Conditioner, we have Healthy Hair Gummies, we have Growth Oil that have 11 essential herbs and oils in it with a beautiful blend. And that came about because for so many years I said, I just want my own products. And it just seems so far-fetched. I tried it, but then there was these companies, they would put all kind of weird ingredients. And I'm like, I just don't want a product just to say I have a product. It has to solve a problem. It has to be dope that people want to come back again and again to purchase it, to use it, to talk about it, to spread it to other people. And then I put the idea on the shelf because I'm like, this is too hard. It's costing way too much money to not really get what I want. And I just prayed about it. And I said, God, just align me with the right people, persons that's going to get me to where I need to go when it comes to this product line. Because I really want to have this, like, to back my brand and to give like to validate my hard work, basically.
Yes.
So I met with this young lady. She had a very successful product line. She is Jasmine Williams, the Atlanta hair doctor. And she coached me and showed me who to meet. What
y'all heard that, right?
What chemists? What's that?
She got coached.
I got coached. I got coached. Got me a business mentor who's going to lead me to the right people, the right chemists, the right manufacturers. And there's people that I still held on to, and there's some people that I extracted.
Right.
I had to find my own way, and that's how I was able to start my product line. Was just aligning myself to the right mentor, the right coach who was going to help me along the way.
You know what I love in that is that you can have this vision and you started it, and when you said I put it on the shelf, right? You didn't say I gave up on it. You said I put it on the shelf and I had to get connected to the right people. You and I actually went to the Black Expo,
Yes,
the Black Business Expo with Beckma.
Yes,
the Black Economic, how do you say?
Black Economic Council
of Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yes, it's a long word. We just say Beckma,
right?
But it was Pinky Cole.
That's right.
From
Ooh,
Slutty Vegan was there, and she also talked about aligning yourself with the right people.
Yes.
And I asked the question around monetization and expanding my brand and being ready to hire, and if she had any advice or any tips for what was the best way of going about that, because she has multiple sites, multiple employees.
She did good.
And she gave me such a profound answer, was don't just look for people. You need to look for people smarter than you, and it's about talent.
Yep.
And then I ran across a video where she said last year her overhead was over $10 million. And I thought to myself, one, those that know, I have a private practice and I'm in business for myself. And I had already said this to myself. So it was like validation. I need to reduce my overhead. And I didn't start off with the level of overhead that I have now. But it's also a sign of expansion when your overhead goes up.
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
But now it's like, okay, overhead's up. Next thing you can do is either reduce your expenses or increase your revenue. So if I want to increase my revenue, it's time to monetize and to scale.
Yes.
Right. And when you scale, you got to start hiring clinicians. So she gave a really good answer about talent and mentorship and getting around the right people.
That's right.
Right. Yep. Shout out to Miss, what's going on, Chanel? Miss Remy's in the building.
Hey, girl.
So so I am now in a position now of having these meetings with people who are, I don't know yet if they're smarter than me or more talented than me, but we about to find out.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Right.
And then there was another video I came across that Barack Obama did, and he talked about not being afraid to sit at certain tables because of people's credentials and expertise.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
I also ran across another nugget, which was learn from people that you don't like and that don't like you. And I was like, whoo, that was one that hit me. And I thought about it.
Yeah, I need to hear more about that one.
And what I thought about was the idea, we use this term haters.
Okay.
Right? And that your haters are usually your motivation, or the biggest flattery is somebody to imitate you or copy you.
Okay.
So I say that to say that a lot of people that I don't per se like teach me a few things. They teach me either what not to do.
Yeah.
How not to be.
Yeah.
They can also teach you some things in terms of their expertise, because I may not like them, but they may know something that I need to know.
Now that's very true. That's very true.
It's almost like shooting the messenger. So like if somebody's ever delivered a message, but you don't care for them, but is there any truth to what they're teaching you or what they said?
Correct.
But you don't like them as a person. So that's sort of what I took it as. Was I ask myself all the time when I engage with somebody that maybe is rubbing me the wrong way, is there any truth to what they're telling me?
Yep. And
is there anything that any part of what they're sharing, does it help me grow? Can it help me grow? And if it's a yes and a yes, I totally don't care who it comes from, because I'm gonna take those things and I'm gonna use it accordingly.
Okay.
Now, on the other hand, people could be projecting on you.
Yeah.
And it ain't your stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is why you need to know who you are and be able to ask yourself those two questions, which is there any truth to what they're saying?
Yeah.
And is any of it going to help me grow?
That's
right.
And
I think if you ask yourself that, it won't matter who the person is and what they're bringing to you or what it is.
That's right.
It will always be something positive extracted from it.
Yes.
What you think about that?
I agree. So while you was talking, I wasn't even talking to respond. I'm just absorbing what you're saying, and I'm like thinking about a situation like, okay, yes, of how I
Ooh,
can dissect that and
I'm
make that
telling you,
better. So
I'm telling
yeah,
you, it's
I was
these
I
little.
was absorbing. If you notice, my face was gone.
Hmm.
I was taking.
I'm trying to tell, but
I was in the moment. I took
so
it in.
I didn't. So again, everybody that's listening, that is not something that I always knew to do.
Mhm.
That has come from losing some jobs, some opportunities, um, getting defensive, having to have people say, "Wait a minute, you're being defensive,"
Okay.
not listening.
Okay.
Like already having a response ready before the person even can get it out their mouth.
Mm.
That's sitting with myself and understanding my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities for growth.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge people to do a SWOT analysis on themselves. You know what a SWOT
Yes.
analysis is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. Those that
Absolutely.
don't know, a SWOT analysis is something they do in business, right?
Yeah.
And it looks at your strengths. That's what the S is for. The W is for your weaknesses. The O is for opportunities, and the T is for threats, external threats.
Right.
So most businesses will, if they meet with like a consultant, will do a SWOT analysis of
Mhm.
that business in conjunction or in relationship to the business that they're in, their
That's correct.
competition.
That's
So
correct.
anyway, I love that you put the products on the shelf, but you did not give up and you asked for help.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we don't want to ask for help because we feel like we're supposed to know everything.
Well, that was me at first because I can't say it was necessarily pride, but my clients kept sending me this young lady's stuff, like her videos, and she got products, she got all this.
Mhm.
Because I talk to my clients about stuff like I want
Mhm.
my own product line, trying to figure this out, and so they start sending me stuff, and I'm like, why they keep sending me this girl stuff? Okay, that's cute, that's nice. Yeah,
Right,
and I had to
like why are
tell
you showing me her? I'm not trying to copy her.
right. I'm like, okay,
What you trying to tell me?
like, do you want to go down there and fly to her to go get your hair done? Like,
Like, ooh.
yeah. So
Mhm.
while I had one day I just looked at I scrolled through her page and I'm like, oh, she got a product line. Then I went on her website. I'm like, oh, it's got this. Oh, it's doing good. And so I reached out to her. I inboxed her. See, I have this thing about your chicken list, right?
Yes. Okay, we got go ahead.
So the chicken list is basically a list of people that you think are too above you, or they're not going to give you a yes. They could be a celebrity. They could be just, someone who you think is out of your reach. And you
Uh-huh.
put these people on your list and you reach out to them for advice, for help, not to pick anyone's brain, but to say, I need this. Is there a way that you can help me with that?
Mhm.
And what is your fee? I always throw that one out there,
Mhm. Yeah.
because I can't expect that you go give me all these gems and jewels for free.
Mhm.
Right. So when I did that, she said, oh, yes, I would love to help you. I have a course for beauty professionals. It costs this amount, and I'll teach you this. I'll teach you that. I'll show you I did this. I'll show you. I'm like, I don't care about none of that other stuff. But you said product line, I'm in.
Right.
And I'm glad I wasn't penny pinching. I'm glad I bet on myself. I'm glad that I invested in myself when it came to that, because now I do have a very successful product line that I'm proud of, because it is helping people, regrow their hair. Their follicles are strengthened. Weak follicles are being strengthened. And I'm just very proud of it.
She should be.
Very proud
I
of it.
use her products.
Yes.
There's some videos. Oh my God, it was like 3 years ago. Oh y'all, I used to stay and me some braids and some weaves and crochets. I still wear my
gosh,
I still wear my wigs and my weaves now.
Mhm.
Not wig. I don't wear weave, but I do wear wigs.
Mhm.
Y'all see I'm on here today
Me
with my
too.
hair out, right? You see it's shiny and stuff because Queen is a hair doctor.
Mhm.
She definitely brought my hair back and I
Back to life.
cried. There's a video of this. I hadn't had my own hair out in decades. And
Mhm.
she finished doing my hair, and I still have that video. The amount of joy
Mhm.
that I felt when I was done, and I was able to walk outside with my own hair out,
Mhm.
and it was
Mhm.
cute, and it looked good, it was healthy, and I've embraced having a shorter style, a shorter haircut. of knowing what to do with it, and just being okay being in my own skin, and walking outside with as me. And I thank you for that, because that was definitely a moment. I was in there acting up, okay? Couldn't
so
tell
cute.
me nothing.
And you didn't have not one piece of track in there.
And no
it was all
track.
full
It
and
was just
cute.
all me. So and since then I've cut it down, and you know, I'm just I'm not, I will say I'm not so caught up with hair in the sense of like I was before. Like I'll cut it off if it needs to be cut off. I probably could even shave it all off now, y'all, but I ain't bringing that into my future or into my vision. But this chicken list is something that we talked about at the last Write the Vision.
Yes, we did.
And I thought that was it was one of my takeaways, because after that I had a list of people that I brought to my event, Poe Therapy, and I reached out to poets and inboxed them, and I had some really big name poets that came to do Poe Therapy because I reached out and got in their inboxes, and I told them they was on my chicken list, and they all laughed. What's the chicken list? And I told them, I
cool,
said,
very nice.
I'm like, it's people that I'm scared to talk to, or people that I think is like on a level that I'm not yet at.
That's right. That's it.
I'm going to reach out anyway and hope you say yes, but okay, it's okay if you say no. So I love the chicken list, and I'm looking forward to the gems and the nuggets that we drop this year.
Me too.
Because the power of visualization and the power of actually sitting still and allowing yourself to not just dream, but to see.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because dream is something that sometimes can feel like, okay, when you wake up, you might forget it. So I want you to dream, but I want you to see, right? And I think when you have a vision, you can see it.
Yes. There
right.
You go.
A dream can go away. You might forget it. You might, it seems almost far-fetched, or you can't touch it. So I want to take you out of just dreaming, and I want you to see it. I want you to visualize yourself doing it and being in that space, in that moment, doing whatever it is that you want to do. Because I'm one of the speakers. I don't give everything away, but the goal is really to get you to sit still and see. So that being said, talk to us about how you got this vision planted on your spirit to do Write the Vision. I know a little bit about it, but let's tell the listeners so that they can get excited and get some tickets.
So I am the curator of Write the Vision Goal Setting Brunch. It is a brunch for entrepreneurs and budding entrepreneurs, just a time to come together, get inspired, get motivated, because a lot of people, they try to plan for the new year in January. That is the wrong time to try to set your intentions. The best time to do it is in November, right? It gives you time to know what you want, set your intentions, set out your goals, your plan for the upcoming year, and really absorb it. And then when January comes, after the holidays, after you exhausted all your funds, you can have a clear set, goal, and knowing how you're going to achieve it and start to accelerate when January 1st hits. So you're not waiting around trying to figure things out. And the thing about it, I was inspired. This is good. In, I guess it's probably like 2021, I was up on a panel at Bosses Meet Bosses, is a brunch that my best friend Tanisha Murray has down in Georgia. And I was one of the speakers, and just the whole energy of the room was like so crazy. It was so beautiful. The space was beautiful. The women were beautiful. Everyone was there just to hear from us speakers, and they were hungry for information. They just wanted to feel inspired, feel like heard, So I told her after the event, I said, that was so dope. Oh my God, we all spoke so well. And people were very receptive to the information. It was just dope. I said, you should bring this to Boston. Oh my God. We not saying that we don't have events like this, because we do. But I needed my people, my community, to be a part of something like that. She's like, why don't you do it? I was like, me? She was like, yeah, you can do it. I'll help you. Whatever you need to do. But no, I don't need to come there. You can do it. And I was like, oh my God. And so I prayed about it. I said, God, is this for me to do? I asked, is this for me to do? And he gave me the thumbs up. He gave me the name, Write the Vision. And notice that it doesn't say write your vision. The vision for your life comes from God. So what we want may not be what we need to be doing. So Write the Vision Goal Setting Brunch is where it's at. It's a fun time where you're going to have some thought-provoking moments. You're going to get some gems, some jewels to be able to, have something working and resonating in your spirit so you can have the best business that you desire to have, that you can be the business person that you always dreamed of. So that's what I get from it every year. And each year it gets better and better. And even all the little trinkets and, swag bags, all that cute stuff. But it's really more about the knowledge and the power that you feel when you walk out of them doors.
So yeah. who is slated to come and bless the people and feed their spirits and their minds this year?
So first up is myself. I am your faith-based mindset leader. Yes, I am a hair doctor, cosmetologist, but I like to feed the mind. And that's what I do on a daily, so I'm excited to share a few words. And then we do have a special surprise guest. He's going to do like a 5-minute presentation. People are going to be like, what? But so I'm excited about this young person. And then we have someone who is, I guess you could say, highly recommended or backed by popular demand. Coach Law herself.
Oh, wait a minute.
Talking about you,
She's
girl.
talking about me.
Backed by popular demand, the motivational psychotherapist herself, your favorite round the way therapist, Coach Law.
Wow.
Listen, people was like, listen, are you going to have her again next year? I'm like, I guess so. Yes, of course. So I'm excited to hear from you.
That's dope.
I mean, your presentation, just that 20 minutes was just life-changing for a lot of people, even myself. Yeah. So we're excited to hear from you on this year.
Yeah.
And then we do have my brother-in-law, Earl Griffin. I call him Ray Sean, but he's the owner and founder of Almighty Fitness in Randolph. And he's going to do a great presentation. He's actually a powerful minister. I know he's a deacon at his church, but he's really anointed at what he does. And, I love him because he loves my sister-in-law and his family the way he does. So I'm excited to hear from him. Then we have my credit repairman, Manny Cardoso. That's my Cape Verdean brother. He's the owner of, what is it? One Good Credit.
Yeah, I heard some good things about him.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job repairing credit and knocking those things off your credit report and stuff like that. So he's going to go over a whole presentation about why credit's important and his whole credit. That's not my expertise. That's his. So and then we have my favorite speaker, the bishop himself, William E. Dickinson, my dad. He's our special guest for Sunday. And a lot of people don't know this, but he is a public speaker. He is a motivational speaker.
Yes, he is.
Outside of being an anointed preacher. So I'm excited to see how he flow, not being behind the pulpit. He really has that charisma with the people and everything. So it's just going to be an amazing time.
Oh man, I'm excited to be in the space. Last year I was a speaker, but I also got a lot from Stormy. Me and her met after, and she helped me do my grant proposal. I spent some time with oh my goodness, why is his name? The gentleman. Oh gosh.
Which one? He spoke last year?
Yeah, Tulu.
Yeah.
I spoke with him and spent some time with him. Both poured into me after, and was just really phenomenal.
Good.
So I hope people realize, again, getting around the right people.
Yes.
So being in a room of people who are intentional.
Yes.
And wanting also to create positive visions for their life.
Exactly.
And everybody to be on that same accord and to be in that same space. And then to have individuals that you can connect to that are coming from mind, body and spirit.
Yes.
Like it's all
connected at all.
It's all covered. And one of the things that you got to be prepared to do this year is actually come ready to write.
Yes.
We're going to
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Incorporate time for you to actually write.
Yes.
And then I will be extending myself to those that want to do some one-on-ones, which I do every year.
Good.
Again, it's up to you to take advantage of it.
Yes.
But sometimes you do need to sit and have that thought partner.
Mhm.
And I had recently posted on my page, most professionals and successful athletes
Mhm.
will all testify that they've had an excellent coaches
Right.
along their journey
Yep.
that have guided them, held them accountable,
Yep.
and gave them nuggets of wisdom that helped propel their career.
Yes.
So I think sometimes we think, I don't need no therapist. I don't need no guide. I don't need this. I'm gonna tell you, when I went and did my MBA program, that was something they said us as Black women especially needed to do more mentoring.
Yeah.
And to have mentors.
Yeah.
So don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
Like, come in the room,
Yeah.
get you a ticket.
Yeah.
You will be blessed.
Yeah.
I will say that I haven't heard one person that hasn't gotten something that was in that room.
Yeah. Not one
I
person.
run into them and they tell me, if nothing else, of coming out of a place of darkness and depression and needing optimism and hope, they leave with something.
Yes, right.
They leave with something.
And one thing you said earlier about being in the room, proximity is power, right? So just like when we go to churches, the Bible says that forsake not to assemble yourself with other believers. And that's for a reason, because we feed off of each other. And there's nothing going to be nothing but the Holy Spirit in that room. There's nothing going to but good energy and positivity in that room. And who wouldn't want to be amongst that? We're going to have a lot of greatness in the room. And I'm not just talking about the speakers. I'm talking about from the attendees and the guests.
That's right.
So I'm excited to be able to pour out and to receive. Right.
Correct.
I'm excited for the wins that people are going to have within their businesses once they leave there. Because that's when you have a level of expectancy, things are going to happen.
Yes.
So like my dad says all the time, your attitude determines your altitude.
That part. Right. And iron sharpens iron too.
Iron sharpens iron. It does.
There's another quote I think I read, and it was talking about, change your circle. When you get around people who are moving, they're not gossiping. They're talking about ideas, right? They're not talking about people. They're talking about what they're doing next. And when you get in a space like that, it's not even competition anymore. It's not people look like they're like, oh, that's what you're going to do. Oh, tell me more about that. Oh yeah, you done got me fired up. Like, they become battery chargers. And if you're around a bunch of battery chargers, right,
yes.
you elevate in a different type of way than when you get around people that are complaining and they're downtrodden and they're in a bad place and they're just talking about this one and talking about that one and what didn't go right and who did this and who did that.
I ain't got time.
The energy gets heavy when you leave out of a space like that.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to kind of you got to shake it off of you. You got to shake off that energy because it's called confirmation bias. Okay. Once you get a thought in your mind about something, someplace, something, you're naturally, and y'all can go look this up. This is not a Coach Law thing. You naturally look for receipts and things to confirm your way of thinking.
Makes sense.
So if you're thinking negatively, then you're going to look and find things to justify your negative thinking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you constantly are positive, then you look for all of the strengths and all of the positive. You're constantly reframing, and you got to check that too, because you don't see nothing bad. You could literally be sitting among snakes, but you don't see that they snakes. You'll just see that they're, oh, those is beautiful. Look at them. They just listen and they so nice, and they ain't bit nobody yet, so they must be safe, right? So you got to balance it. But whatever it is that you constantly are thinking, you're going to attract and see things to confirm what your thought process is.
True.
So confirmation bias is real.
Confirmation bias. All right.
It's very, very real. Good. So I just think when you get around other people that are speaking and talking about positivity, you're either going to be impacted by that and it's going to shift your thinking, or you're going to get the heck away from them. Because you can't take it. You can't take all the positivity. You're going to be like, oh, the people too happy. And you're going to have to go somewhere else. But we have to be mindful, us positive folks, to understand that if we go put ourselves in spaces that we also can get impacted. Right. And we can start thinking negative and we can get drained. from being around that. So you got to also understand that you sometimes you can't be the only positive person in the space.
That's correct.
Because you will eventually get sucked dry.
Sucked dry.
So you got to be there. So you got to be in the space. If you've been sucked dry and you've been feeling like you are just, not around the right energy, you got to be in the room on November 10th, because this is where you're going to get your battery charged.
Yes.
And that's good. Is really what the vision of this event is to help people recharge their batteries. This is fourth quarter. And we've been in the game. Yep. Right. It's not time to put down the ball. Like right now, it's time to, how do you do the press? It's time to press. It's time to press. It's time to really get that defense up and win. Like it's and that's where we're at. We're in fourth quarter, and you need a good plan. So even if the game, you don't win the game, we still got a whole season coming up in 2025. And you need to be ready. You need to be ready. Recalibrate that playbook. And maybe you need to switch out some coaches. Or some players.
And this is the thing. Someone had just inboxed me, and I thought it was so beautiful. And I was very, very humbled by it. She's a fellow hairstylist. And by the way, this event is not just for hairstylists and beauty professionals and barbers. This is for all industry folk. Everybody. If you're an entrepreneur, if you are a budding entrepreneur, this event is for you. Now, if you want to get unstuck, this event is for you.
Absolutely.
But if you don't see the value in, elevating yourself, this event is not for you.
And this is a bet on yourself moment too, guys. Really is. This is an investment in yourself. I know, a lot of times we don't look at that, but we spend, some of y'all know y'all spend money just going out to go have some drinks. You drop $150 easy. This is an investment in your mind and in your trajectory of where you're going. If you are feeling like you don't have purpose and you don't have direction, you're not going to get it unless you sit your butt still and actually start to think about it and write it down.
That's right. Right.
So you got something somebody sent you. You going to tell us what it is?
She did send me something, and it says, she said, "Hey, good morning. I pray your day has started and is going more than well. Thank you for pushing us towards the end of the year. We are depleted, and you are our business IV bag. Ooh. Please enjoy the rest of your day." Ooh. I said, business IV bag. Ooh. I said, she dropped one on me. Ooh. And I was like, that is really dope, because as business, at the end of the year, yes, we are depleted. Yes. Our fire has burned out. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to figure out, what are we going to do different for the next year that's going to propel us to our greatness, or that's going to get us from the place that we are right now. Mm-hmm. And so when she dropped that the business IV bag, like, I was like, whoa, I like
felt that.
Okay.
I felt that.
It was beautiful.
But I do think, some of us need to be resuscitated. Some of us are like literally beat up, tired, burnt out, overwhelmed. The finances ain't where you want them to be. The revenue might be, up and down. Around this time of the year, some people get an uptick, but some people get a downtick because you're competing with all these holidays and all these other things that people are now using their disposable income for. So it is definitely a time to recalibrate for a lot of folks.
Yes.
So get the tickets. Where the tickets?
So you can get tickets. It's still, and one thing about this event, I was going to shut it down because, when you're trying to feed people, you got to make sure your numbers are right. I'm like, listen, we get people that want to come the day of, just come. We just want everyone that wants to be a part to be a part. So tickets are still available. You can get that on, I guess if you go to everythingqueen.com and click events, it will pop right up. Get your ticket. And we will just love to have you. And this is the thing that I really want to leave. I know you probably was going to ask me that. What do you want to leave with the people?
Yep, you sure do.
Is that okay to say right now?
Because we got 1 minute.
Okay, great. So I really just want people to know that they can make it. Don't give up on your business. We all have times when things aren't so good, but things will get better. This too shall pass. If you're in a state of like confusion or not doing well in business, this too shall pass. And Black Friday's coming up. Those of you who sell products, get on your game. Like, use social media. Like, social media has changed the whole trajectory of my business. And understand, when people go to your page, they should be able to identify quickly what problem of theirs can you solve. Because if you're just saying, oh, I love Jesus, I love my 3 kids, what problem of that does it solve for them? Nothing. So your bio is your business card. Make sure you change that.
Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Heat981fm.com and iHeart Station.
You know what that means. Go ahead. Your bio is your business card. That was your last thing you were saying.
Yes. So just make sure you be ready for Black Friday and for the end of the year. Like, show up and show up big. Yeah.
And you know what that means? That means that this is another episode of Conversations with Coach La. And we are wrapping it on up. Thank you, Queen, for coming through.
For having
I'm
me.
dropping the link for y'all to get y'all tickets.
Yes.
And I'm going to see y'all on November 10th. Make sure you tune back in next Sunday for another episode of Conversations with Coach La. Y'all have a beautiful week. Keep betting on self. Good night.
Good night.
Nancia, Smokehouse, it's the urban heat. Shout out to Coach La. Kicking it with Coach LA, it's time to listen to conversations that's gonna keep you winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on the urban heat, just call it. Conversations with Coach La, 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 conversations with Coach La, 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 la. If you got something on your mind, you can call in, you can hit a line.